Style is definitely not one size fits all. It's something that you develop, and that is something very personal. I'm not going to teach you how to dress like me or Jonathan Van Ness or anybody else that you see in the public eye. I'm not going to teach you about the hottest trend. I'm not going to teach you about my favorite designer. I'm trying to teach you all how to embrace your style, not mine. A question I get so regularly is, what if I don't have a style? What if I don't know how to find a style? I have the answer. How to find your own personal style. Start with a capsule wardrobe, which we've already shown you, and then build on top of that. So next step is decide who you want to be. If you have no idea of where you truly want to go with style, that's when you pull in your most basic resources, which is my family and friends. Who do I admire at home? Who do I admire at work? What are they wearing that makes me think they look nice? And then start to use those as your reference point. You don't have to go for a certain genre. You don't have to go for a celebrity. Everybody, I'm positive, has somebody in their life that they look to and think, they look nice. Use your search engine to find the kind of look you're going for. If you are a man, key in men's style. If you're a woman, key in women's style. If you're non-binary, non-binary style. And there will be a plethora of options available to you. Start to click through those and see, could that be me? Does that feel like me? Would I like to feel like that person? Second, if there is a celebrity or an influencer that you think they live a similar life to me if they lived a regular life outside the public eye. They've got kids. They've got 2 kids. They're married. They do this on a weekend. They read those kind of books. What are they wearing? Who are they when they're not in the spotlight? What are they posting on their outfit of the day? Start to use that as your reference point when you're looking online. So decide, am I going for Sienna Miller? Or am I going for something more 50s housewife? Am I going for Brad Pitt? Or am I going for more A$AP Rocky? There is a big difference between copying somebody and being inspired by somebody. Copying somebody is literally taking on somebody else's aesthetic. You're never going to feel like you if you're dressed as somebody else. It's just not possible for you to feel like the best version of you. So be inspired by that person instead. Think, would they wear this? Is it something they're actually wearing? Don't go for that. Is it a vibe or a mood that they've gone for that you can incorporate into your life? Go for that. Be inspired, don't copy. Back in the day when I was younger, I really didn't have a clue where I was going to start. And David Beckham was an icon. He was a major football star, even though I couldn't care less about football. He married a Spice Girl. I was obsessed with the Spice Girls. I wanted to be his wife more than I wanted to be him. And he had a life that I wanted. He had a life that was exciting, and he played with style more than any man I'd ever seen in the public eye. And so he was my only reference point. He's still a pretty solid reference point. If any of you are looking for inspo out there, he's still, all these years on, he's a solid reference point. And so I would think of what he would wear, and I started to craft a look that worked for him, but via tan friends. When I was about 17, he was wearing peacoats, baggy denim, not great anymore, and a peacoat. He was often in great outerwear, great denim. And so I went to a very inexpensive store and would buy versions of that. There's always inexpensive versions of what famous people are wearing. And so my first trip to New York, I chose to buy a beautiful blue peacoat. And then I got a pair of baggy jeans, the pair of sneakers. They were the flat, like, taekwondo ones that are making their way back now. And that was my look. That's the greatest way to start to find a style that works for you, by pulling from other people's style and finding your style within theirs. Start to screenshot those pictures or pin those pictures and create a board, a mood board of such, of the kind of vibe you're going for. Runway shows are a great resource for inspiration. You can find pretty much every major runway show from at least the last 20 years on Vogue.com. It's free. Click on that, look at as many runway shows as you can, and you're pulling inspiration only. You are not buying that designer piece. The looks that are put together on the runway are not meant to be ready to wear. They are runway looks. There is a separate collection that designers produce that is called ready to wear. What you are seeing on a runway is something that is going to encourage people to see the beauty and art of that brand. It's not suggesting you wear it in this way. That is a form of art. A runway show is the most exciting thing. Seeing fashion in magazines is beautiful, but you can have great fashion and terrible style. Often you'll find people who have decked themselves out in high-end designer clothes, but the way it's put together is a clear indication that they are not comfortable in style. So just because something is expensive, just because something is designer, does not necessarily mean that you are looking stylish. A common misconception is great style must be editorial, that it has to be loud and really daring, which sometimes means not you at all. If that's not you, that's not you. I don't care how fashionable you think it is, or if Gigi Hadid was wearing it on the runway last week. If it's not you, it's not you. Editorial is great for a magazine. That's what it's there for. It's there to excite you. It's there to make you stop and look at that picture twice. Put it up on your inspo board. It's not there for you to wear as it's seen in a magazine. That's editorial. Same on a runway. A runway collection has been styled in the most editorial way, so it really hits every major news outlet. It's not really for you to wear exactly as it is down the street. That's what we call extra. You don't want to be extra. So style is separate from fashion completely. It's not on trend. It's not about a season. It's not about a runway show. It's not about a certain brand. It's about how you put fashion together to create your own personal look. Style. Style for me is all about fun. I want you to have fun with this. Every time I get dressed in the morning, it's something exciting. It's something playful. It should be fun. Fashion's the thing that's stuffy. Style's fun. When looking for inspiration for your new style, it doesn't necessarily have to just be with fashion. It could be with botanicals, it could be with art, it could be with anything, the ocean, it could be with birds. Like, I am inspired constantly by what I see. If I see a flower that has a color story that I think is amazing, I will try and incorporate it into my look. Don't be limited by just a runway. What designers are using to pull for their collections are the things that you have access to too. They're things that you would find in your everyday life. To find your personal style, you just have to be open. You have to be open to trying new things, to see this as something that's fun, and a real passion to change up the way you're looking to feel what you truly want to feel. Know that you're doing this for a reason. Set an agenda. With the mood board that you've created, I actually like to save it all onto my phone. I've got like a screenshot of 7 or 8 different looks, and they're all from different vibes. So let's say, for example, you've got the cool boho girl going out to an event. You've got the cool boho girl going out to brunch with her friends. You've got a picture of the cool boho girl who's going to the beach. So you've curated this whole life that this boho girl is all about, the new you, the version of you that was burning up inside that you never managed to find before. You finally found her in these 10 images. If you have created a mood board that is a little more eclectic, that's fine. You can have a really eclectic wardrobe, but try and find common themes within it. If you found that you have it's all over the place, but a lot of them are wearing jeans, a lot of them are wearing dresses, a lot of them are wearing tops, that's still a vibe you're going for. There's still an overarching vibe or mood that you've gone for, an aesthetic, if you will. And so, even though it's not super clear that, yes, that every one of them is wearing a sheer shirt, every one of them is wearing lace, they've still got elements that trend within your own mood board. You're creating your own trend. And so, yes, there may be 17. Choose 2. Go with those. Don't overwhelm yourself. And what I used to do when I first started doing this, after I'd pulled together, let's say 30 images, I would find the 5 or 6 that really made sense for me. And then I'd create a mood board out of those. And then if that still wasn't quite whittled down enough, I'd find 3 and make that my mood board. Edit, edit, edit. Simple. You can absolutely have good style without taking risks. Sometimes I think it could border on boring and safe, which is fine. If that's your vibe, that's fine. However, if you want to be a standout with your style, you really do have to take some risks. If you are feeling daunted by the idea of taking risks, start slow. Integrate smaller, risky options. Play with accessories first. Add in color in a very subtle way. Instead of going whole hog, the whole thing is going to be reworked with color, really start to inject color in small ways. Add it into your handbag. Add it into a sock, add it into your tie, and then start to layer on. Add another color that will be incorporated into your shirt that will tie in with your bag. There's ways of doing it where it doesn't feel overwhelming and you're easing into this evolution, as opposed to, I was plain Jane yesterday, stylish plain Jane, but Jane nonetheless. And today I'm Sienna. No, ease into it. I was always a wild child, and so I was so excited to break those rules. However, I also eased in. I started out with plain t-shirts, which was kind of weird for my culture. You don't show that much skin. And then I started incorporating different Disney characters and then Nickelodeon characters, and that's how I expressed my style at like 7 or 8 years old. And then I started wearing jeans, and for me, again, in my culture, that was quite bizarre and quite shocking. And so I eased in to my style by playing with things that were quite common for everybody else, but that were quite jarring for my people. When you start to break the rules, when you start to take risks, there's no right way or wrong way of doing it. You don't know if you're doing it right unless you feel darn good in it. And so as long as you know that rule still, my proportions are right, this still feels like me, and I feel really great in this new version of me, you have great style. When I was younger, obviously, I am male, and not obviously, I am male. I am male, and as a young boy, it was encouraged for me to wear boy clothes, and that meant Mickey instead of Minnie. However, I was obsessed with Minnie Mouse, and I had a denim jacket that I had helped make, and I printed Minnie on the back. My granddad owned a denim factory, and so I started wearing that Minnie Mouse jacket around. To my parents' dismay, it didn't matter. I felt so good in it. Yes, I know it was meant to be for girls. I felt wonderful in it. That's all that mattered. For anybody who thinks that they are limited by having a corporate job, I call BS. When I was a child, I went to a school where I was required to wear a school uniform. We all had to wear the same blazer, the same shirt, the same tie, but you had a few colors to choose from, 3 to be precise. Everybody was wearing a navy suit with a white shirt and a navy and a blue tie. However, there was another option, which was a grey suit, a white shirt, and a burgundy tie. I decided to mix those, and I came up with my own styling version of my school uniform. And I stood out from the crowd, and I felt really good about myself because I was able to express myself individually. If I can do that with the strictest of school uniforms in England, you can do that with your corporate jobs where all they're asking for is that you wear a suit. It's possible. There's ways of incorporating things that really will add in your style. The choice of shoe, the fit of your suit, the fit of your shirt, the length of your dress, the length of your skirt, choosing to wear a color that maybe isn't something that everybody else is wearing in an office. There's ways of incorporating what makes it right for you. I did have to wear a corporate suit. There is a way I did it that made me feel like I wasn't having to sacrifice my style. Yes, a suit was required. That's fine. Do I love a suit every day of the week? No, not necessarily. But the way I did it was I would incorporate a shirt that felt more me instead of that hideous lilac shirt that so many people seem to choose for a corporate job. I would choose a stripe instead of a plaid. I would choose a bolder colour matching a tie as opposed to clashing prints, which don't look good on most people at a corporate office. I was conforming by wearing somewhat of a uniform, and I was adding a touch of my personal style so that people remember he's not like the rest of us. He wants to achieve something greater. What I would like you to do right now is do some research. Get online, get screenshotting, get pinning. start to find inspiration of what your new wardrobe could be. Once you've decided what your mood board is, the kind of vibe you're going for, that's the point where you go out and explore. Try things on. The only way you're going to learn is by trying things on. You can't be lazy when it comes to finding a style. It's not going to come to you. You must find it. It's called finding your style for a reason. And so I need you to invest just a little bit of time, and the payoff will be so worth it.